Yes, this is good. This is good. This is also good. This is not good.
Oh.
We've all been there in the free flow of ideas. We can get very lost in our own notes, and organizing them can just be difficult. So my friend Laura sent me this question. She was talking about my vlog and she said, since you just did one on scribbling stuff down, I'd love to hear about how you sort through the stuff or organize it. And I thought that was a great question. I knew immediately I wanted to make a video on it because I've read a lot of writing books and I've never really come across someone just saying like, this is how I do it. So this is the follow-up to what happens after you just write it down. How do you just organize it?
Getting the good stuff out of your scribbles.
We take notes in a lot of different ways. We scribble, we voice memo, we write in our phones, which is totally a legitimate way to journal. You can be cozy and stealthy, and no one has to know you're working on a project.
Yes. Hey, I'm texting. Oh.
Plus, phone journal entries are already typed, and then you can just email it to yourself. But frequently our notes are not typed. They're scattered over sticky notes and, you know, stuff like this. They're everywhere here. Brainstorming notes are often less clear than we remember when we go back to them. I don't see how these two relate. Nope. At the end of the week, we have all this. Bang. And to move forward, it just tends to be much easier to have something that looks like this. Bring. So here are my tips for making this organization process less painful and maybe even fun. My first tip is to remember that this is just a draft 2. The smoothness of this process says nothing about your talent as a writer. We just have to do it. Sometimes I'll set a timer and only give myself 30 minutes to type 5 journal pages just because I don't want to overthink it. Second tip, when stuck, play with the idea of how you'd communicate this idea to someone else. Write an email to someone explaining this idea. You don't even have to send it. But this can be a really helpful exercise because we tend to be more succinct when someone else's attention span is on the line. We just say it. And this can really help us clarify to ourselves just what it is we're trying to say. My third tip is highlighting, starring, and circling.
Can't count.
Especially for people with messy journaling styles like me, this can be really helpful. I show you. Starring, circling, highlighting. Sometimes I'll star stuff right after I free write because a lot of times the rest of it's not interesting. So the ones that I do like, I may develop into an idea later. And then my fourth tip, and perhaps the most important one, is having an idea of why you're typing up these notes. Asking yourself what is the goal in organizing all these pieces of information you've collected. For me, the goal is almost always making an outline, a clear layout of where this project is going. And even if it's not a very clear outline right away, hint, it rarely is, that's okay. It's just helpful to know where I'm headed. I'll show you an example of some things I do while making an outline. Oh crap, I need to print it off. Is that a bug? Oh, thank God. This is an outline I typed up last night for a project. I typed it up from 10 pages of scrawly notes that I wrote in one sitting 2 weeks ago. But I'm quite pleased with this outline because looking at it, I just feel calmer about moving forward with this project. It's easy to read. It's much more linear than my handwritten notes, which tend to have multiple columns and arrows and things. In short, I'm not married to my handwritten notes because I don't think of them as like divine streams of creativity. They were just a first draft. I don't make myself type up everything I wrote down, so I can take from them what I want. There's 10 pages of this. I probably didn't type like 3 pages of it, but it took me a while to be able to do this because it takes some confidence to make a strong call on where you want to go with your story. But it helped that I explored it written down in my thing, because then when I saw it again, I was like, okay, well, now I know because I tried it writing it out, but I don't think I want to go that direction. It also helps that I gave myself 2 weeks between writing these handwritten notes and typing them up, because 2 weeks has given me some perspective and just the amount of time being away from it. Motorcycle noise. But yeah, you'll come up with your own rules and figure out what works for you. I'm gonna start a section called Afterthoughts because I realized I didn't really just like talk to you as kind of an update. My name is Linda Barcy and I make videos every Monday as part of this year-long screenwriting advice project. I'll include a typed up version of all these tips I've talked about in the About section if that's helpful to you. I was telling my mom like, oh, I love this idea my friend just sent me. And she was like, yeah, you could even ask people in your video to send in questions. And I was like, no, that makes far too much too much sense. So I would love for you to send in questions because this is a dialogue. This is a community. I mean, it doesn't even just have to be about writing if there's other stuff you're interested in. I'm toying with the idea of making dating advice videos, drawing on my months and years of a lot of dating. So if you're interested in that, tell me what about that interests you. Send me thoughts and questions. You can put them in the comments. You can email me at this email. You can tweet me here. This is my tweet name. Twitter name, or if you prefer to YouTube message me, I'll figure out how that works. Don't understand that one yet. So until next time, I think we're done. Especially for people with journey